Hi, Caledonian Biker, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you see, I'm at Motorrad Glasgow, Douglas Park, and in front of me we've got the new, for 2025, BMW R 1300 GS Adventure. Now, this is a very talked about bike. It's been well awaited coming onto the scene, and I'm looking forward to giving you my first ride impressions of the bike. I'd also like to thank all the subscribers onto my channel, and if you've not subscribed to the channel, hopefully you might after this video. So please stick around, wait for my first ride impressions after my short introduction. Roll the intro. Hi, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed my short intro. So here we have the R1300 GSA. It's in the racing red colour, and that's a traditional colour for the GS. And it's also got a sheet aluminium tank here. This is really nice. The triple black's got the exact same setup on it. This is the TE model, and it's also got the spoked wheels on it as well. So, as you see yourself, the big thing about the bike is the 30-litre tank that's on it. That's the difference between the GS and the GSA. And with this 30-litre tank, you're looking at 380 miles. But I won't be doing 380 miles today, but I'm going to enjoy myself nonetheless. So straight away, the first thing that strikes me is it's a lot bigger than my own R1300 GS. It's been described as heavy and bulky. But with my 6-foot frame, I don't think I'll have any problems getting on and off the bike and manoeuvring the bike round about. So we'll get the bike fired up and we'll get ready to take off on our journey today from the dealership. Beautiful TFT screen, certainly my favourite out of all the TFT screens of any of the bikes I test, and really quite a fan of the switch gear as well on the bike. Very easy buttons, and this also comes standard with the SOS button in case there's any problems for you. So let's get the show on the road and get the nitty gritty done. So that's us left the dealership, and we'll be at a town riding before we get ourselves out onto the kind of more open roads with this bike's at its best. So right away, the difference I'm noticing to my R1300 GS is obviously the 30-litre tank, giving you a tank range of 380 miles or thereabouts. Depends how you ride. So it is quite a big bike, but not imposing as far as I'm concerned. It's weighing in at 269 kilos, so it's 1 kilo heavier than the previous GSA 1250 that take over from. But where the bars are, the layout, as I commented before, the dash fantastic on these bikes. And this bike's well tricked up. This is the TE version. Most of the bikes that sell with BMW, whether they're GS or GSAs, the customers tend to go for the TA version. I've certainly always went for TE versions for myself. The electric screen on the bike is meant to give good protection, so we'll talk about that once we get ourselves onto the motorway. But the pegs themselves, fairly neutral where my legs are and where my thighs are positioned. Well, as I was saying, I'm looking forward to getting out in the open roads with the GSA and seeing how it can perform. But as regards to the bikes themselves, I'm very familiar with the GSA version and the GS. I've owned 5 GSs myself now. If you're a regular to the channel, you'll see I've still got my 1250 TE, and I've also got the new R1300 GS, and I went for the Trophy Enduro X, which just my height at 6'4" gives me a bit more leg room, and I do like to do a wee bit of kind of off-roading with it, so I really love that bike. It's my favourite GS out of the 5 that I've owned. On the subject of varied roads, I've also travelled 6 continents now on the GS's. I've had my last trip was Scotland to China, some 90 days, of doing some of the most challenging roads in the whole of the world, through the stands. I even rode to Mount Everest base camp, and along the way it was accompanied by many riders on GSAs, and the same when I've done my South America trips and other trips around the world. There's always been GSAs there, and it's a very impressive mile munching bike. It's renowned for what it can do, and it was obviously publicised widely by one of my fellow countrymen. You might not know him, Ewan McGregor. Anyway, that said, let's get back to this bike. So, in town, it's nice and nimble, not a problem. Where I'm sitting just now, good vision, controls are all familiar to me, and it's just how I like them. I've got to say, with my knowledge of the BMWs, they do provide a premium product, and they're also very good when it comes down to your residual values, and that's what I like about them. This bike's fitted with a quick shifter on it, and it's also got the 4 standard riding modes on it: Eco, Road, Rain, Enduro. You can upgrade also if you want to go Dynamic, Dynamic Pro, Enduro Pro. So we're quite happy to stick it in the road mode just now while we're still in the 30 speed limits here. Now this bike's not the ASA version, this bike's got the clutch. I've already done a video on the ASA bike, so all that information is on the channel already when I rode an R1300 GS ASA version. The ASA, if you want to put it on a GS Adventure bike, is roughly the same money again as what you would do with the GS standard bike. It's just coming in at over £600, and it is, gives you a lot of riding assist and makes it a more comfortable ride for you. Mirror standard on these, they've been like these for years on the GS's. Very good round about my big torso, quite happy with that. But the bike is nimble enough. You're not noticing it's extra 30 kilos over my GS 1300. Now for some motorway riding on the GSA 1300. We're heading on the M8 motorway, heading out of Glasgow, heading south towards the M74 motorway. Good protection with the screen has been recorded in most of the feedback from the GS model, and I'm finding this screen already at 60 miles an hour. I'm getting no buffeting, the wind's going well above me. The side reflectors I don't have on my R1300 GS Enduro, so these are making a difference as well. I'm getting virtually no wind coming from or interfere with my helmet. Bike's fitted with a cruise control, easy function. On it goes your left hand switch gear, push the button over to the right to activate it, and you can control it with your 4-finger up and down, and it gives you the display on the dash. Simple as that. On the motorway, into cruise control, away you go. As I said before, phenomenal mile munchers and continent busters, these bikes. With the 380 tank, you can really get down to it and put the miles in with these GSAs on the highways, motorways and autobahns. You can also buy for an extra £150 a touring windscreen or larger windscreen if you want to go a wee bit further afield for wind protection. BMW also supply on the bike, they're supplying you with a flip up for the screen as well, There are no prices for that yet. Well, that's another possible add-on, just to protect the wind from yourself. I'm finding it very comfortable. Handguards as well are very protective, larger handguards on this to the GS standard. Time to get the bike onto some national roads now, where I feel more at home anyway than the motorways. So remember, the GSA 1300, like the GS 1300, which came out this time last year, they're new bikes from the ground up. So the GSA 1300's got the exact same frame on it, which gives the bike a different level of rigidity. So the two bikes share the same frame, they share the same engine, and the difference is the back end of the bikes. The 13 GS is coming to you with the die-cast frame, which raised a few eyebrows. With the GSA, they've went back to a traditional aluminium tubular subframe at the back, and this is to give it more strength, because the bike's synonymous with doing big miles, carrying luggage, carrying pillions, and that's why the seat's a lot bigger on the GSA for the pillion as well. So BMW's ticked all the boxes that's required for you to go and do your touring. Now, as I said, the two engines are the same, so you've got the 145 brake horsepower, and they're producing 110 pounds-feet of torque, or 149 newton meters, whatever money you deal on. With that said, that's a great spread of torque when you comparison to the KTM 1390. It's only producing 107 foot of torque. So as I mentioned, more torque than the KTM 1390. The GSA 1300 doesn't hang about. With the quick shift up, it's an easy bike for riding. You're leading the downshift that's there for you, very sweet, very smooth. 4th, into 5th, into 6th. Same again, 4th. Easily found with two kicks down, straight up. Very smooth for a twin. Suspension on these bikes is renowned for the telelever suspension at the front, and for the new model the gearbox is now underneath the engine, and that's allowing for the quicker gear shifts also. The swing arm's been increased as well at the back, and that's also allowing for better rigidity. The bike's got the standard wheels that was on the bikes before, with the spoke wheels, so all the bikes come with the standard spoke wheels. You go for the option 719, you can go for the gold wheels with that one. I'll come back to the wheels in a minute, but this bike's shod with a 2 ranch Nix 2 from Metzler tyres. Tyre I've used before, very capable. Some of the other BMs come with the Michelin Anarchy tyres, which has been around for a good while as well, but a great hardware tyre nevertheless. And if you get down the road of the Enduro version, you're looking at getting the Metzler Karoo floors for that. The bike's nice and smooth, the suspension's working very well. This road's kind of bumpy in bits. Great engine braking as well with these bikes as you're coming up. Through the corners to tuck in. You can really leave it in the gear. I'm leaving it just in 4th just now, as you see, and the bike's just quite happy to glide along in 4th gear. Back up into 5th. Bike's built for these types of roads. Very comfortable on it, very confidence inspiring as well. The bike, the way it lays down and plants itself on the tarmac for you. As I was saying about the wheels, I opted for the forged Enduro alloy wheel. This is a wee bit more expensive, they're coming in just over £900, but they're a lighter wheel, saving you about £4 altogether in weight, and that gives you a quicker steering as well. But by God, it saves you doing the cleaning on the wire wheels. Every GS I've had before had the wire wheels and they were always a bind for cleaning. So if you've got a wee bit extra cash, get the Enduro forged wheels. I certainly did, and I'm enjoying them. So with the TE model, as the old TE models is standard, you're getting your tire pressure sensor monitors in the wheels, you're getting your keyless ignition, you're getting the SOS button I was talking about before, you're also getting the handguards with the integrated indicators on them. The bikes also come with the integrated LED fog lights on them, which is very good. Be seen, be safe. As you see with these kind of bends here, which are a wee bit kind of uneven, the suspension's coping really well with them. It's not flustered in any shape or form. As we're keeling it over and leaning it in. The bike itself really loses its weight of the 269 kilos once you go into these back roads. Quite happy to go along and give you a thrill of a ride. And again, I wouldn't expect anything else from BMW. I've always experienced that with my previous GS's. They're full of torque and they're quite happy to motor on. As you see there with that overtake, not a problem, one gear down, you're away past it. So it's another good impression that I'm getting from the bike today for my first ride of it. That the bike's more than capable and it's a step on from where the 1250 GSA was. Obviously there's a debate over the two bikes as there was with the 13 GS. I think as time goes on, people will come round to the fact that this is a very capable bike and BMW have made a nice bike with it. The headlight has always been a topic of conversation, but I can assure you as regards to the headlight, it's a far better headlight than it was fitted to the 1250 GSs. And the reason for that is, I'm going to tell you straightforward, it is so much brighter. The headlight, when I ride with my friends who have got 1250s and they've got 1300s, especially at night and even during the day, the new headlight is easily 50% brighter than the headlight that they placed on the other bikes. And that was all down to EU regulations why that headlight was taken away. Because they wanted a centred headlight and BMW decided to go down the road of the X light. And I certainly have got no complaints with the headlight. We've been talking about headlights for years with motorbikes, Fireblades, one light lit up, one didn't. So a good light, let's just get on with it. Brakes are very good here if you're needing a wee dab. But really, in these kind of bends, with the big boxer engine, you're not really needing any more than the kind of engine brake of the bike. It just flows away with you. I've got no complaints whatsoever with the way the bike's set up and standard for them. It's rocking along here quite nicely and it's not intimidating in any shape or form. Big thumbs up BMW, you've done it again. It does feel a lot nimbler than its weight, as I said when I was first out in it in the main street, just leaving the dealership. And in the Nationals, I certainly haven't changed my mind. It's a very nimble, capable motorcycle with monster torque. The exhaust note's quite nice on it as well, it's no bad induction too. Obviously there is the possibility, if you're wanting to go down the road of the Akrapovic cans, I went down the road on an Akrapovic can myself, but I didn't go for the double can that Akrapovic produced for the BMW. I went down the road of the single can. The single can weighs less, and it was slightly cheaper, coming in round about the kind of 700 mark, whereas the double can, they're looking upwards of 925 for that can. I made an additional as well onto the single can. What I chose to do was I chose to get a QD set of downpipes for it, and the QD set of downpipes came from a firm in Italy, and I must admit they're a fantastic set of downpipes. They've transformed the bike again, as far as I'm concerned. My 13 GS has given me an additional 10 brake horsepower, and there's a video on the channel talking about it, and there's several shorts videos on my channel also showing you me putting the system onto the bike and running the system in the bike. So another good extra that BMW's brought in now is adaptive height control. This comes in about £500, and this really is a game changer for a lot of shorter riders. It lowers the bike as you come to lower speeds, allowing them you're coming to a stop or you're taking off to about the low setting. Shames any mishaps, any spills. So this arranges the seat from a starting range of 790 now, and it can all the way right up to 915mm. There's an array of changes. So with the adaptive height control, that's reducing it by 30mm, as I said. Now you can get an additional 20mm through the comfort seat, which comes in 3 different sizes. This effectively is the old system where you had the lowered chassis. So that's given a total of reduction of 50mm for shorter riders to save the embarrassment of any spills or etc. So as I said earlier, the bike I'm riding today is the Racing Red liveried bike. Now it doesn't cost any more money to get it in the red. The red's been around and is synonymous with the GS and GSAs for many years. So the other colours that are available at an extra cost is the Trophy, which is the red, white and blue, and that will set you back an extra £725. If you decide to go down the route of the triple black, that's at £785, extra £60 for that. And then if you really fancy the matte green option 719 with all the billeted extras on it and the gold spoke wheels, you're now up to £2,125 on addition to the cost of the bike. Well, this bike's not fitted with the radar, but radar is available at an extra cost of £795. With the radar you get it front and back, so you've got front hazard warning, rear hazard warning, and then you've also got the lane change warning, and you've got the active cruise control, which adjusts your speed for you when you've got the cruise control on. A lot of bikes have got these systems now, so it's also in place for the GSA at the extra cost. On the subject of costs, let's look at the servicing costs now. With the servicing costs, you're getting a pack and it's just over £1,000, and I think it's a great deal. You're getting 3 services, over 18,000 miles for the 3 years. So in summary of BMW's new R1300 GS Adventure, I've got to say, after a day's riding the machine, I firmly believe that BMW's come up with a winner yet again, and it's a masterclass in their part, because what they've done is they've taken a great bike with the 1250, made it even better with the 1300 engine, chassis and the look of it. And as far as I'm concerned, with BMW being a premium brand with premium backup and service, I don't think the bike can be beaten. The bike's coming in the T model we've got here at 20,600. By the time you bolt on most of the extras that you're looking for, between radar, height adjustment and your luggage, you're probably about 23 something. That's a keen price, especially up against the competition that's out there. So BMW's not went over the odds with the price of the bike, I don't, because you're getting a premium brand, and in getting the premium brand you're getting top quality parts, bike, service, backup. So as regards to the BMW R1300 GS Adventure, I'm definitely giving it a big thumbs up, and I would thoroughly recommend the bike, and I think it'll be very successful again for BMW in the future. Time to head back to the dealership. Thank you very much. That's me return back to the dealership, Douglas Park Motorrad in Glasgow, after a fantastic day riding the R1300 GS Adventure. Really enjoyed myself, and it's a massive big thanks to the staff at Douglas Park Motorrad for all the help and assistance they've given me, and to give me the opportunity to bring you this video today. So please subscribe to the channel if you liked the video, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.